he inquires about the Supreme Lord. He first inquires about Krishna and Balaram. And then he has inquiries about the entire Yadu dynasty. In the 29th verse, he inquired, "O my friend, tell me whether Ugrasen, the king of the Satvatas, Vrishni, Bhojas, and Dashrahas, is not doing well." You see, this is very important. If Krishna is also Satvata, he is Vrishni, Bhoja, and the Dashrasas. So Ugrasen is the king of the Satvatas, is also of the Vrishnis, Bhoja, and the Dasharas is now doing well. He went far away from his kingdom, leaving aside all hopes of his royal throne. But Lord Krishna again installed him. How Lord Krishna again installed him? This is talking about Ugrasen. Yes, Ravindra Prabhu? Ryanshi, you want to answer?
Prabhuji, after killing Kamsa.
Very good. After killing Kamsa. Actually, Ugrasen was the king. And Kamsa forcibly, what he did, he imprisoned him. Kamsa imprisoned him and forcibly took away the kingdom. When Krishna liberated Kamsa by killing him, so he reinstated Ugrasen. Verse number 30th. Kechidhare Sāci-Sutā sadrikṣah aste agrani rathinam sadhu sambha asutiyam jamvati vritadhya devam guhyam yo ambikaya dharo grahe. I think we did this verse. 30th with this. Jamvati. O gentle one, does Sambha fare well? He exactly resembles his father, the personality of Godhead. In a previous birth, he was born as Kartikeya in the womb of the wife of Lord Shiva. And now he has been born in the womb of Jambavati, the most enriched wife of Krishna. So, see how the inquiry is. He is talking in sequence. First, he talked about Pradyumna. Pradyumna is the eldest son. He is the son of Rukmini. And now the other queens, the principal queens of Dwarika. His son Samba is being talked about. So Samba previously appeared as Kartikeya. Lord Shiva, one of the three qualitative incarnations of the personality of Godhead, is a planetary expansion of the Lord. Kartikeya, born of him, is on the level of Pradyumna, another son of Lord Krishna. When Lord Shri Krishna descends into the material world, all his plenary portions also appear with him to exhibit different functions of the Lord. Except for the pastimes at Vrindavan, all functions are performed by the Lords at different plenary expansions. Very important. Except for the pastimes of Vrindavan, all functions are performed by the Lord's different plenary expansions. Vasudev is the plenary expansion of Narayana. When the Lord appeared as Vasudev before Devaki and Vasudev, he appeared in his capacity as Narayan. Please hear very attentively. Very profound philosophy. Similarly, all the demigods of the heavenly kingdom appeared as associates of the Lord in the form of Pradyumna, Samba, Udhava, etc. It is learned here that Kamadev appeared as Pradyumna, Kartikeya as Samba, and one of the Vasus as Udhava. All of them served in different capacities in order to enrich the pastimes of Krishna. So Krishna himself, he appears in Vrindavan, and for his various other functions, his forms which exhibits are his expansions. Swam Bhagwan, he appears only for Vrindavan pastimes. And here it is being mentioned that he appeared before Vasudeva and Devaki as Vasudeva. One name of Krishna is Vasudev because he is the son of Vasudev. So that is the form which appears as Narayan. He appeared in the 400 form. And then Prabhupada is also quoting that various different demigods, they appeared in different forms as sons and associates of Lord Krishna, as Pradyumna, Samba and Uddhava. Shivam Kachit Yudhanaste Ya Falguna Labdha Dhanu Eve Anjasa Adhokshja Sevayaiva Gatim Tadiyam Yatibir Durapam. O Uddhava, does Yuyudhana fare well? He learned the intricacies of the military art from Arjuna and attained the transcendental destination, which is very difficult to reach even for the great renouncers. So this is a great warrior. When we will study the Bhagavad Gita first chapter, this name comes, Yuyudhana. So who is Yuyudhana? It will be explained here. The destination of transcendence is to become the person associates of the personality of Godhead. So here, Vidurji is inquiring about him, knowing well that he attained the transcendental destination. And to attain the transcendental destination means to go back to the spiritual world. And who can go back to the spiritual world? Who has really pleased the Lord. To go back to the spiritual world means to become an associate of the Lord. So this is very difficult. This is such a great, this is a perfection. This is the perfection for the living entity. The destination of transcendence is to become the person associate of the personality of Godhead, who is known as Adhokshaja. Adhokshaja. Ja means to take birth. And Adhokshaja means one who does not take birth. One who does not take birth is the Supreme Lord. Krishna says in the 4th chapter, he also says even in the 2nd chapter, Natu evaham jatu nasam. And he says, Ajo api san avyayatma. Adhokshaja means who is beyond birth. He who is beyond the reach of the senses also. And Aksha means the eyes. And Ja means to take birth. So one who is beyond the eyes. That means one who cannot be seen with his eyes. That is one who is transcendental. Adhokshaja. The real meaning of Adhokshaja is one who is transcendental, one who cannot be approached by material senses. So Krishna's one of the name is Adhokshaja. He is beyond the reach of the material senses. The renouncers of the world, the sannyasis, give up all worldly connections, namely family, wife, children, friends, home, wealth. Everything to attain the transcendental bliss of Brahman happiness. But Adhokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. How Adhokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness? Purushottam, you are also not joining in the morning for session. You are joining late every day. Chanting session 5 to 7. Now it is summer time. बहुत हो गया, बहुत ढिलाई हो चुका है और बहुत लापरवाही हो चुका है. should join between 5 to 7. उससे पहले आपको उठ के जो करना है करिए, बाद में जो करना है करिए. 5 to 7 you should all be chanting. And I'll be keep checking. And I will check at the time when you will not know. Okay. How this Adhokshaja is beyond Brahman? Who will explain? Prabhupada is quoting here. What is the understanding of that this platform is beyond Brahman? Manoram Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
This Adhokshaja is above the impersonal feature realization, Prabhuji. So it
Okay,
is
what is
the
it? Not having clarity. पुरुषोत्तम आप बताइए, how it is beyond Brahman realization?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Brahman realization means
It is not
beyond
Brahman, bhaiya. You
beyond the
have to
material.
change. You have to change. Once I corrected you so heavily, still you have not given up saying Brahman. There is no word called Brahman. ब्राह्मण लिखा है क्या?
Brahman.
ना, अभी भी सही नहीं है.
Brahman.
हाँ बोलो बोलो, सही बोलो.
Brahman Prabhu.
हाँ, इट इज ब्राह्मण. 10 बार लिख के याद कर लो, ठीक है? क्योंकि जो डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग है वो चेंज हो जानी चाहिए.
ठीक.
वो चेंज नहीं होगी. हाँ, याद है ना? जो एक बार इसलिए गलत पड़ गया इंप्रेशन, उसको चेंज करना बड़ा मुश्किल है. इट इज ब्राह्मण रियलाइजेशन. ब्राह्मण बताइए.
Prabhu, this Brahman realization is beyond sense perception. मतलब जब हम मटेरियल
नहीं, दैट इज ट्रू.
आध्यात्मिक हो जाते हैं मटेरियल.
लेकिन यहाँ तो कुछ और पूछ रहे हैं ना. यहाँ तो हमने जो पढ़ा, दैट इज सेइंग दैट द अधोक्षजा हैप्पीनेस इज बियॉन्ड ब्रह्मन हैप्पीनेस. ये बोल रहे हैं, ये पूछ रहे हैं. व्हाट इज अधोक्षजा हैप्पीनेस? बोलिए.
Prabhuji, Adhokaja is beyond the sense,
नो नो, दैट इज ओके. अभी इस
beyond the reach.
प्रभुपाद जी क्या लिख रहे हैं कि अधोक्षजा हैप्पीनेस इज बियॉन्ड ब्रह्मन हैप्पीनेस. व्हाट इज योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग? प्रदीप.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण.
Reaching the Supreme Lord is higher than the personal Brahman.
Okay, this is Bhagwan realization. Adhokshaja is a personal form, which is higher both to Brahman and Paramatma both. This is the highest. What is the proof? What is the evidence? You should be very clear on this. Immediately you should give so many evidences. Very basic thing. Ravindra bro, what is the evidence?
Prabhuji, the process of Brahman realization is klesha adhika tarasta.
No, okay. But here it is being talked that the Adhokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. It is not talking about Klesha.
The happiness derived from Brahman realization is very insignificant comparison to in devotional service.
Give me some proof. I want some evidence. Just by making a statement, it does not give any conviction. What is the evidence? What is the pramana? Philosophy is still not clear. थर्ड कैंटो में आ गए, फर्स्ट कैंटो सेकंड कैंटो में ये सब पढ़ा चुके हैं. You know the verse, Manoram? Such basic verse. What you have entered third canto? First canto का verse है. Sonika, you remember the verse? Priyanka, you don't know the verse? You don't know this verse that how Brahman is lower and how Bhagwan is higher? Then you people have not understood philosophy at all. Bolo? That shloka I would have recited at least 50 times, if not 100. Every fourth or fifth purport that verse comes. And you people are completely blank. Bolo Ramya? Unmute, please unmute and speak.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी प्रभुजी सबे पुंसा परोधर्म यतो भक्ति अधोक्षजे.
Arey, what are you speaking? This statement is saying that the Adhokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. So how
प्रभुजी
to...
अधोक्षज happiness is प्रभुजी by having personal association of by serving Supreme Lord we can have the personal
That is true.
association of.
But where is the Praman that it is higher?
प्रभुजी in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita it is written that bhakti yoga is susukham kartum abhyam.
That is Sukham in Brahman realization also, na? It is, what is the statement? What you people are reading? It is showing that the Adhokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness.
Prabhuji, Brahman happiness is not permanent. They have to come.
Who
back
says?
again.
No. Brahman happiness is permanent. It is transcendental. It is eternal. It is not material. Anything which is transcendental is eternal. Then your understanding is not clear. Vadanti tat vidas tattvam yad jnanam avyayam ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवान इति शब्दते. ये श्लोक नहीं जानते आप लोग? हाँ, पहले कैंटो में पढ़ाया, कितने चैप्टर्स में कितनी बार पढ़ा है? That the supreme absolute truth is realized in three aspects, in three phases. The preliminary phase is Brahma, the intermediate phase is Paramatma, and the highest phase is Bhagwan. Have you not studied 15th chapter? You rascal, Pradeep, for so many years you are studying Bhagavad Gita, you cannot give one example of how Bhagwan is higher than Brahman. So what have you read Bhagavad Gita? How you don't know this verse in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Just sitting like a puppet, you're not giving the answers. What is the verse in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Tell me, what have you studied in so many years? You are doing Bhagavad Gita study for more than 10 years, even more. So what have you understood? You know 15th chapter or you don't know 15th chapter?
I know Prabhuji.
You don't know. This is the correct assessment. What is the verse? Yasma Sharam Atitoham Aksharadapi Chottama. You don't know this verse?
Prabhuji.
You don't have the understanding? Like a parrot for so many years, you are just, speaking without having any proper understanding. Ato asmi lok vede cha pratita purushottama. Clearly, he is saying that I am beyond both. Yasma sharam atitoham aksharat api cha uttama. Ato asmi lok vede cha pratita purushottama. 15th chapter, 18th verse. So there are so many evidences. What is the point in studying if you people don't have any understanding? Adokshita happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. The empiric philosophers enjoy a transcendent quality of bliss by philosophical speculation of the supreme truth. Somebody was saying that Klesho Adhikarastesham. Where is Klesho Adhikarastesham? What Prabhupada is writing, the empiric philosophers enjoy a transcendental quality of bliss by philosophical speculation of the supreme truth. But beyond that pleasure is the pleasure enjoyed by Brahman, is the eternal form of the personality of Godhead. Brahman bliss is enjoyed by living entities after liberation from material bondage. But Para Brahman, the personality of Godhead, enjoys eternally a bliss of his own potency, which is called the Ladali potency. The empiric philosophers who studies Brahman by negation of his external features has not yet learned the quality of Ladini potency of Brahman. Out of many potencies of the omnipotent, there are three features of his internal potency, namely Samvit, Sandhini and Ladini. And in spite of their strict adherence to the principles of Yam, Niyam, Asan, Dhyan, Dharana and Pranayam, the great yogis and jnanis are unable to enter into the internal potency of the Lord. This is the difference. Prabhupada is explaining the difference. That even a yogi or a jnani, they cannot have access to the Ladini potency. This internal potency is, however, easily realized by the devotees of the Lord by dint of devotional service. Yuyudhana achieved this stage of life just as he achieved expert knowledge in military science from Arjuna. Thus, his life was successful to the fullest extent from both the material and spiritual angles of vision. That is the way of devotional service to the Lord. But this is not mentioned that who is Yuyudhana. Yuyudhana. He is one of the great warriors who has been given the military art training by Arjuna himself. And he also reached the supreme destination. He reached the spiritual abode. But who he is he? So you do a research and find out. Tomorrow we will discuss. Kachit buddha swasti anami vaste swapalaka putro bhagavat prapanna ya Krishna padankita marga pumso acheshtata prema vibhinna dhare. Please tell me whether Akrura, the son of Swapalaka, is doing well. He is the faultless soul surrendered unto the personality of Godhead. He once lost his mental equilibrium due to his ecstasy of transcendental love and fell down on the dust of a road which was marked with the footprints of Lord Krishna. So now he is inquiring about Akrura. When Akrura went to Vrindavan in search of Krishna, Prabhupada says that how we should approach the land of Vrindavan, we should learn from Akrurji. Akrurji is the authority in which limb of devotional service? Akrura is the authority of which limb of devotional service? भक्ति के कौन से अंग के? He is the personality who represents which division of bhakti? Which anga? Which limb? अक्रूर जी बोलो पुरुषोत्तम.
हरे कृष्ण भाई, पाद सेवा.
No, completely wrong. He is not past seven. No. Pradeep,
Dasya.
what nonsense you people are talking? If Dasya is Akrura, then Hanumanji is what? Hanumanji is Sakyam. Very poor. People do not have basic understanding. बोलो प्रियंका. अभी 9 में से 2 तो निकल गए. इजी हो गया. श्रवणम कीर्तनम तो है नहीं, इतना तो पता ही है. श्रवणम इज परीक्षित एंड कीर्तनम इज सुखदेव गोस्वामी. 4 निकल गए. बोलो क्विकली आंसर.
Prabhuji, here it is surrendered unto the personality of God. So it can be Atma Nivedanam.
No, what are you talking? If Akrura is Atma Nivedan, then what is Bali Maharaj? आप लोग बिल्कुल रिवाइज नहीं कर रहे हैं, कुछ अंदर घुस नहीं रहा है. मनोराम, अभी क्या है? 5 तो निकल गए 9 में से.
Prabhuji, from that hint, actually, you told that he is Hanuman. तो दास्यम होना चाहिए.
दास्यम अभी बताया हनुमान जी है भैया. दास्यम कहां से हो जाएंगे वो? दास्यम इज हनुमान. आप लोग को नवदा भक्ति भी नहीं पता है. सोनिका,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, he prayed to Lord, so Vandanam, Prabhuji.
yes, Vandanam. Vandanam. So this is the point. Here, see the verse. See the verse clearly. He once lost his mental equilibrium due to his ecstasy of transcendental love and fell down on the dust of a road which was marked with the footprints of Lord Krishna. So when he was entering, you should read that section of Srimad Bhagavatam, or it is the Krishna book. When Kamsa sends Akrurji to bring Krishna and Balaram to Mathura, there he is offering his prayers. And when he enters into Vrindavan, he is in such ecstasy that this land of Vrindavan is marked with the footprints of Lord Krishna. Everywhere there is the imprint of the Lord's lotus feet. And he sees the lotus feet, the imprint of the Lord's lotus feet, and he falls down in ecstasy. So how to enter Vrindavan? Prabhupada writes there that how a devotee, in what consciousness he should enter Vrindavan. Prabhupada mentions there. So it is said here, such a pure devotee of the Lord is naturally faultless because he is always associated with the supremely pure personality of Godhead. Constantly thought of the Lord in his antiseptic method for keeping oneself free from the infectious contamination of the material qualities. The pure devotee of the Lord is always in the company of the Lord by thinking of him. Thinking of him. This is what Krishna is desiring in Bhagavad Gita. Man mana bhav bhad bhakto. always think of him. Krishna says, always think of me. Yet in that particular context of time and place, the transcendental emotion takes a different turn. And this breaks the mental equilibrium of the devotee. That happened with Akrurji. Lord Chaitanya displayed the typical example of transcendental ecstasy. Today I asked AI, and I, in a way, countered AI. I asked AI, what is the difference between enjoyment and ecstasy? Where I had gone today to one college, Ramanujam College. They had their student welfare program. So they called me. Anyway, so as usual, there was some delay in our organizing program, so I was free. So I asked this question with AI, what is the difference between enjoyment and ecstasy? What is the understanding? It is very relevant to what we are discussing. That is why I just raised with you. So what we see here, what Akrura is experiencing, he is experiencing ecstasy. He is in such ecstasy that he is losing his mental equilibrium. His external consciousness is getting over and over overwhelmed by his emotion. His emotion of commotion, which is of devotion. Who will answer? What is the difference between enjoyment and ecstasy? Try. Tell me. Yes, Sonika?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, enjoyment can be at the level of at the bodily level, but ecstasy is on the level of soul, Prabhuji.
Very good. Precise answer. Precise answer. Enjoyment is of the material mind and senses. But ecstasy is when one performs devotion. That is the transcendental rasa which is released by the Supreme Lord. When he is pleased to see the devotion of his devotee. That is released by the Supreme Lord. That is called the rasa, the transcendental mellow. Then one experiences the ecstasy. This is what is being said here. So, and Prabhupada is giving the example of Lord Chaitanya himself. That Lord Chaitanya displayed the typical example of transcendental ecstasy, as we can understand from the life of this incarnation of God. So that was the spiritual elevation of Akrura. Why? Thanks to his approach, thanks to his attitude of his prayerful mood, Vandanam. That is why it is said that he saw the footprints of Lord on the dust of Nandagram and at once fell on them in ecstasy of transcendental love. Such ecstasy is possible for a devotee who is fully absorbed in the incessant thoughts of Krishna. Such a pure devotee of the Lord is naturally faultless because he is always associated with the supremely pure personality of Godhead. Constant thought of the Lord is the antiseptic method. Sri Prabhupada's genius. Constant thought of the Lord is the antiseptic method for keeping oneself free from the infectious contamination of the material qualities. A devotee means, what is the overriding principle for a devotee? Smartavyam satatam Vishnu vismratyam na jatutishta. That one should be able to always and constantly remember Krishna and never forget him. So Vidurji is appreciating the transcendental position of Akrura and he is inquiring the welfare of Akrurji. Kachichimam devaka bhoj potrya Vishnu prajaya eva deva matuhu Yave swagarbhena dadhara devam Trayata yagna vitanam. As the Vedas are the reservoir of sacrificial purposes, So the daughter of the king Devak Bhoj conceived the Supreme Personality of Godhead in her womb. See how it is being presented. The daughter of King Devak, who's the daughter of King Devak? Is Devaki. Conceived the Supreme Personality of Godhead in her womb, as did the mother of the demigods. Is she, Devaki, doing well? Who is the mother of the demigods? बोलो. अरे अभी तो चर्चा किया इतना लंबा, कुछ दिन पहले ही चर्चा किया था. कहाँ चर्चा किया था मैंने? दिति अदिति का बहुत लंबा चर्चा किया था. कहाँ पे चर्चा किया था? यहीं किया था.
प्रभु जी स्पिरिचुअल साइंटिस्ट क्लास में IIRA में.
अच्छा, स्पिरिचुअल साइंटिस्ट क्लास में. हाँ, आदित्य नाम अहम विष्णु में. तो बता ही दिया, आंसर तो बता दिया मैंने. अभी क्या रह गया? हाँ. अदिति. The Vedas are full of transcendental knowledge and spiritual values, and thus Devaki, the mother of Lord Krishna, conceived the Lord in her womb as the personified meaning of the Vedas. There is no difference between the Vedas and the Lord. The Vedas aim at the understanding of the Lord, and the Lord is the Vedas personified. Please give me the verse. Precisely the same verse. The Vedas aim at the understanding of the Lord, and the Lord is the Vedas personified. Very, very famous verse. This verse you should all be knowing. What is this verse? Who will speak? माननीय माता जी, आपका वीडियो क्यों ऑफ है?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी. अभी ज्वाइन की तो प्रभु जी.
अच्छा, ठीक. आज आपको लेट हो गया आने में? इतना लेट आए हैं? 9 बजे?
नहीं प्रभु जी, थोड़ा घर में काम था.
काम हम पहले कर लो, मालूम है ना क्लास होती है अभी.
सॉरी प्रभु जी.
सॉरी क्या है? हाँ, बोलो जल्दी बोलो. अरे ये वर्स बताओ. पुरुषोत्तम क्या वर्स है? अरे यार, इसमें क्या घबरा रहे हो? ये तो बहुत बेसिक वर्स है. सब घबरा जाते हैं क्या? सब मेमोरी मेमोरी सब साथ नहीं देती है. हाँ, वेदांति तत्त विदत तत्व नहीं बता रहे हो. अब ये श्लोक में भी पता नहीं क्या सोच रहे हो. तो क्या श्लोक पहले आपको खोल के बता दें फिर पूछें कि ये श्लोक नंबर पूछूंगा मैं? ये बता देना. बोलो प्रियंका, विच वर्स इज दिस? वेरी सिंपल.
प्रभु जी, वेदेश्य सर्वे अहमेव वेद्यो वेदांत कृतवेद
वेद
विदेव च.
विदेव. यस, सिंपल. वेदेश्च सर्वेर अहमेव वेद्यो. The purpose of the Vedas aim at the understanding of the Lord. Vedeshcha sarver ahameva vedyo. And Krishna is Vedant Krit Ved Videva Chaham. And the Lord is the Vedas personified. Devaki is compared to the meaningful Vedas and the Lord to the purpose personified. See, scriptures are compared to the mother. Vedas are compared to the mother, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the father. So who makes the child know his father? That is the mother. He has to accept the authority of the mother to know who is the father. So here see how Prabhupada's purports. Prabhupada is saying Devaki is compared to the meaningful Vedas, that is the mother, and the Lord to the purpose personified, that is the father, is to know him. Apisvid aste bhagwan sukham vo ya satvatam kamadugho niruddha yam amananti smahi shabdayonim manomayam sattvaturya tattvam. So now he is inquiring about Aniruddha. May I inquire whether Aniruddha is doing well? He is the fulfiller of all desires of the pure devotees. Ya Satvatam Kam Dugha Aniruddha. Satvatam is of the pure devotees. Kamaduk is the well-wisher or the bestower, or here it is that the fulfiller of all desires. Of whom? Of the pure devotees. He is the fulfiller of all the desires of the pure devotees and has been considered from your to be the cause of Rig Veda. Oh, this is news. Yam amananti asmi hi shabda yonim. That he is the cause of the Rig Vedas. He is the creator of the mind, Manomayam. He is the presiding deity of the mind. Who? Aniruddha. And Sattva Turya Tattvatam is the fourth expansion in the first quadruple. And is the fourth plenary expansion of Lord Vishnu. What is the expansion of Lord Vishnu? How is he the fourth one? बोलिए माननीय माता जी.
अनिरुद्ध संकर्षण वासुदेव प्रद्युम्न अनिरुद्ध.
हाँ, कौन किसका है बताइए. ये चार जो एक्सपेंशंस हैं ये क्या रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं?
याद नहीं है तो.
थोड़ी सी नहीं, थोड़ी सी. अरे ऐसे छोड़ना, ऐसे छोड़ने से कुछ थोड़ी होगा. बुद्धि नहीं लगाना चाहते हैं, थोड़ी मेहनत नहीं करना चाहते हैं. वासुदेव रिप्रेजेंट whom?
कृष्णा.
Yeah. So that is he is the one who is the source of the jiva, soul, atma. That is Vasudev. Next is,
संकर्षण
he represents what?
बलराम अनंत.
False ego. He is the presiding deity of false ego. ठीक है? Then Pradyumna is what? अब तो पकड़ लो, अब क्या रह गया? Is intelligence. And Aniruddha is the presiding deity of the mind.
Mind.
Yeah. Today I had one realization. Very profound realization. So our hardware works by the software. The software is mind and intelligence. That is the software. The mind and intelligence drives our gross body. Like with each software, there is one very potential risk. क्यों भाई? IT वाले पुरुषोत्तम, सॉफ्टवेयर में सबसे बड़ा पोटेंशियल रिस्क क्या होता है? बोलो.
वायरस हो.
यस. और हमारे पास एक वायरस है. वो क्या है? सॉफ्टवेयर में वो प्रीलोडेड है. नहीं, कितनी पकड़ है?
फॉल्स ego.
यस, फॉल्स ईगो. आज बिल्कुल क्लियर देखा मुझे. हमारे इस सॉफ्टवेयर में, हमारी बुद्धि और मन में वह प्रीलोडेड वायरस है, विच इज फॉल्स ईगो. हमारी जितनी भी प्रोसेसिंग होगी बुद्धि की और मन की, उसका इफेक्ट किसका है? फॉल्स ईगो का. इसलिए हम उसके ऊपर भरोसा नहीं कर सकते. We have to learn to remain detached and identify ourselves, which is different from it. We were studying today the story of Puranjan in 4th canto. His Grace Rukmani Krishna Prabhu is taking classes. So we are having very nectarine discussions. So Puranjani represents the intelligence. And that intelligence is lusty intelligence. So what the jiva has to do, the soul has nothing to do with the lusty intelligence. So it has to detach itself. So whenever our intelligence or our mind gives us any proposal, we should be able to see that this is not me. This is coming from where? It is coming from that virus, which is loaded in this software. Unless and until we purify the virus from the false ego to become pure ego, we can never trust our mind and intelligence. If this understanding comes, our advancement will be rapid, fast. There will not be any obstacle. So Aniruddha represents the mind. And you know how the creation takes place? So many times we have discussed. It will come in the 3rd canto in very detail. When the false ego, it interacts with the mode of goodness, mind is manifested. When the false ego, see, when the living entity comes in this material creation, when the living entity comes in the material creation, the first gift it gets from the material nature is false ego. So the closest on the soul is the covering of false ego. The false ego covers the real identity of the soul. It makes the jiva identify itself with the matter rather than spirit. That is the function of false ego. And when this false ego interacts with the mode of goodness, then this mind is manifest. And Aniruddha is the presiding deities of the mind. And it is also the moon. Moon is also there. And when this false ego interacts with the mode of passion, then intelligence is born. And when the false ego interacts with the mode of ignorance, then the senses manifest. अभी तक क्लियर करते चलो, क्योंकि अभी ये प्रोफाउंड फिलॉसफी आएगी 3rd canto में. So it is said that he is the creator of the mind. See, he is the cause of the Rigved. You see his qualities. He is the cause of the Rigved, the creator of the mind, and the 4th plenary expansions of Vishnu. The Adi Chaturvyuha, the original expansion from Baldev and Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So these are the 4. Okay. The sequence here should be first Vasudev and then Baldev anyway. So Vasudev represents the living entity. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhut Ashaya Sthita. We studied that in the 10th chapter. And Baldev, from Baldev comes the Sankarshan. The Prabhupada is saying the original expansions from Baldev are Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. That is true. Because all the expansions are coming from Baldev. The first quadruple comes from Baldev, not from Krishna. So it is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And all of them are Vishnu Tattva or non-different personalities of Godhead. In the incarnation of Sri Ram, all these different expansions appeared for particular pastime. Lord Ram is original Vasudev. And his brothers are Sankarshana, is Lakshmana. Pradyumna is Bharat and Aniruddha is Shatrugna. Aniruddha is also the cause of Mahavishnu, from whom breathing the Rig Veda appeared. So how the Vedas appeared? It appears from the breathing of the Mahavishnu. Where is it mentioned? Anyone remembers where it is mentioned? That the Vedas come from the breathing of Mahavishnu. Have you read this statement anywhere? Anyone remembers? Anyone remembers where it is mentioned? Study is very weak, really very weak. Where it is mentioned, who remembers? Prabhupada quotes in Bhagavad Gita. शास्त्र समझना इतना सरल नहीं है, उसके लिए रियली बहुत शुद्धता चाहिए, प्योरिटी इज रिक्वायर्ड. अरे अभी हैव रेड इन भगवद गीता, बोलो किधर लिखा है, विच परपोर्ट, विच चैप्टर, विच वर्स? थर्ड चैप्टर 15th वर्स. ओपन मनोरम. थर्ड चैप्टर 15th वर्स, भगवद गीता. Come down. See, one minute. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Karma Brahma Udvidam Vidhi Brahma Akshara Samudbhavam. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendent is eternally situated in the acts of sacrifice. Okay, come down. Wait. Yeah, it's called talking about Rig Veda only. Okay. The four Vedas, highlight. The four Vedas, namely the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Athar Veda, are all emanations from the breathing of the great personality of Godhead. Exactly the same. Brihad Aranyak Upanishad 4:5-11. The Lord, being omnipotent, can speak by breathing air, but it is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. The Lord has the omnipotency to perform through each of his senses the actions of other senses. In other words, the Lord can speak through his breathing, and he can impregnate by his eyes. It is said that he glanced over material nature and thus fathered all living entities. Okay, so this is the point. That all the Vedas are emanations from the breathing of the great personality of Godhead. Okay, close it. Close it. See, we have to go one level further now. Abhi khali passive hearing is not sufficient. After hearing, you must put your effort in capturing what has been studied. उसको अच्छी तरीके से समझिए, पकड़िए कि क्या बताया गया है, क्या डिस्कस किया गया है. और सावधानी पूर्वक अगर आपने सुना है तो आपको याद रहेगा. क्योंकि कृष्ण क्या कहते हैं? Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. From me comes remembrance, memory, and forgetfulness. But Krishna will on what basis he will give us the memory? On the basis of our effort. How sincere we are making an effort. I am seeing His Grace Rukmani Krishna Prabhu. I am very fortunate. I mean, day before yesterday, we were together. Prabhuji gave me so much of association. He came with me, I mean, in my car. And for last 2 days, we are having such association from 11:30 in the morning till almost 3:30. 5 to 6 hours we are every day hearing Bhagavatam from him. And I see him, I mean, his sincerity is so deep. It is embedded in his breathing. And it gives so much of inspiration to all of us. All the brahmacharis, we are having such discussions on Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhuji encourages us to ask questions. And he gives very detailed and defined answers. So this is both Yanta Parasparam. And it was when I told the devotees today that we desire one request, and Prabhuji, please grant. He said, what? I said that even after you take sannyas, you should continue this Bhagavatam teaching with us. He said, this is my most preferred service. I want to do this. So if you invite, I will definitely come. Well, because I also get a chance, where will I get a chance to interact with so many brahmacharis and study Srimad Bhagavatam? So the rasa will be churned if we are very sincere. And then Krishna will release it. Today, one thing very extraordinary he said, that why we are not receiving taste, the higher taste in chanting. Why chanting is looking such a big burden for us. Why we are not relishing the chanting. It is said, why? Because of our offenses. In the past, we have committed so many offenses. So Krishna is watchful now. He wants to watch us. Whether we will do the same mistake what we did in the past again, repeat the same, then he will not give it. And if we are very sincere and we are following what is his recommendation, then gradually he will release it. But if you want to sleep, you don't want to wake up and chant and give some lame excuses, then it is always going to remain a burden. Then Krishna will never give that higher taste. He will not release. And Prabhuji gave him a very good example, very, very good example. He said, it is like, a simple man comes from the village to the city and he becomes very successful in his business. So what he does, he calls his relatives from the village to come and he appoints that village person to be his general manager. And he trusts that general manager and he makes him in charge of his business. And after a few years, what he finds? That the manager whom he has appointed, he is cheating him. He is trying to siphon off the profits. He is cheating. So what he has to do? He is forced to expel him. And when he is expelled, then again he comes on the road, that manager. सड़क छाप था, फिर दोबारा सड़क छाप बन गया. कृपा मिली थी, लेकिन he did not value. But then again he comes and cries and says, I have committed a mistake. I will not repeat it. So Krishna is merciful. So he again engages us. He said, okay, if you say so, again you try. But Krishna is watching us. That are we going to do the same thing again? Are we trying to cheat him again? Then he will not release. And if we are sincere enough, अरे कम से कम 5 साल तो करो. 5 साल 5 से 7 चैंटिंग करो, प्रण ले लो. कुछ और चेंज हो जाए लेकिन ये चेंज नहीं होगा. चैंटिंग 5 बजे शुरू कर देंगे, और 16 माला 7 बजे तक खत्म कर देंगे। किसी दिन कोई एंगेजमेंट है, कोई डिवोशनल सर्विस है, बात अलग है। जिस दिन नहीं है उस दिन क्या है भाई, हाँ सो रहे हैं, सोने के लिए जन्म लिया है, तो फिर नहीं मिलेगा, फिर भक्ति रस का आस्वादन नहीं मिलेगा, फिर तो यही का जो माया रस है उसका आस्वादन लो बेटो। कैसे सो सकते हैं सुबह? सुन रहे हो पुरुषोत्तम? 5 बजे चैंटिंग शुरू हो जानी चाहिए। मैं रोज 5:10 पे आता हूँ, या 5:05 पे भी आ जाऊंगा, और मैं देख लूंगा कौन आया कौन नहीं आया। जब तक तुम देखोगे तब तक मैं देख के निकल जाऊंगा। एक दो लोग तो देख लेते हैं, मुझे जैसे ही देखते हैं टीवी ऑन कर देते हैं, अपना मॉनिटर ऑन कर लेते हैं। वो पहले से ऑन है, उनका नाम आ रहा है तो पहले से अब बंद करके कोई चैंट नहीं करेगा, तो मत आओ। दिखावा करने की जरूरत नहीं है। किसको धोखा दे रहे हैं अपने अलावा? हाँ? वही गांव वाले बन के आए हैं, आ गए मिल गया, उसके बाद फिर वही चीटिंग। भगवान बार बार मौका नहीं देंगे, रसा नहीं देंगे, तो बोझ लगेगा चैंटिंग। Okay, we'll complete this verse. Lord Ram is the original Vasudeva, and his brothers were Sankarshan, that is Lakshman, Pradyumna, which is Bharat, and Anuruddha, which is Shatrughan. Aniruddha is also the cause of Mahavishnu, from whose breathing the Rig Veda appeared. All this is nicely explained in the Markandeya Puran. In the incarnation of Lord Krishna, Aniruddha appeared as the grandson of Lord. He is the son of Pradyumna, and Pradyumna is the first son which is born from Rukmani. Lord Krishna in Dwarka is Vasudeva expansion of the original group. The original Lord Krishna never leaves Golok Vrindavan. See here, this is the Praman. Vrindavan parityaje padekam na gachet. All the plenary expansions are one and the same Vishnu Tattva, and there is no difference in their potency. Hare Krishna, I'll stop here. If you have any question, to please ask. You should at least study 10 minutes before joining. रिवाइज फॉर 10 मिनट्स। अगर आप 10 मिनट भी देके रिवाइज करते हैं, जब तक मैं ज्वाइन नहीं करता 10 मिनट रिवाइज क्यों नहीं कर लेते हैं? वाई यू वेस्ट द टाइम? एंड यू मस्ट मेंटेन नोट्स। अगर आप नोट्स नहीं बना रहे हैं तो आप कुछ नहीं सीख पाएंगे, आपको कुछ भागवतम नहीं आएगा। वैसे भी हम भागवतम के स्तर पे है नहीं। भागवतम के लिए क्या क्वालिफिकेशन चाहिए? हु कैन एंटर इनटू द स्पिरिट ऑफ भागवतम? जबरदस्ती खाली भागवतम खोल के अपने सामने रखने से या सुनने से भागवतम नहीं आ जाएगी। What is the qualification required, Pradeep, for study of Bhagavatam? बोलो।
Attentive hearing.
No. What you are here? Memory is really weak. It is there in the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma projito kaitavat parmo nirmat sata nam satam. Those who are nirmat satanam satam, those who are free from envy. Are we at that level where we are free of envy and we are satam, pure devotees? And how we can have access to Bhagavatam? It is only by the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada, because he has given it and he has recommended it, so we have the access. Otherwise, there is no access. Okay, I'm stopping. It is getting late. We will continue tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. My request to all of you is that 5 to 7, there should not be any other occupation. 5 to 7, you should all be online chanting. All of you. Those of Sonika, you also try to join. You know what Bhakti Vinod Thakur says about chanting? You are hearing, Sonika?
Yes, Prabhuji.
एकाकी आमार नाही पाएबल हरि नाम संकीर्तने. When this is applicable to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, don't think that you are more advanced than him. That is why this platform has been created. And all of you should be chanting. एक दो लोग सुबेरे आ जाते हैं बाकी लोग अपना फिर अपना अपना प्रोग्राम है. And Manoram, you also improve. The sooner the better. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.